This took less than a week, and Major League Baseball already has its first full-blown controversy with the new ABS system, and it ended with a manager getting tossed in absolute chaos. Because what just happened in this Twins versus Orioles game, this is exactly the kind of moment people were worried about when MLB brought robot-assisted calls into the sport, and now it's here. Ninth inning, tight game, Orioles up, pitch comes into Josh Bell called a ball. That should have been a walk. But suddenly, everything flips. Ryan Helsley taps his helmet to challenge the call using ABS. The system reviews it and overturns it to strike 3. Just like that. Instead of a base runner, it's an out. Game-changing moment. And Twins manager Shelton, he completely loses it. Storms out of the dugout, arguing that Helsley didn't signal in time. He's yelling, animated, going right at the umpires, and boom, he's ejected. First ABS-related ejection in MLB history. This isn't just about one call. This is about a brand new system that's still finding its footing at the major league level. ABS, the automated ball strike system, was brought in to eliminate bad calls, clean up the human error, add precision. But here's the catch. It also adds timing rules. Players only have a couple seconds roughly to challenge a call. And that's where this situation gets messy. Because now you're not just arguing balls and strikes anymore. You're arguing reaction time. You're arguing human interpretation of a gesture, and that's a whole new gray area. For Shelton, this wasn't about whether it was a strike. It was about whether the challenge itself should have even been allowed. And if he's right, that's not just a missed call. That's a breakdown in the system. Let's slow this down, because strategically, this changes everything about how baseball is played in late game moments. Before ABS, a bad call was a bad call. You argued it, maybe got tossed, but the result stood. Now, you've got a built-in appeal system, but it comes with pressure, immediate pressure. Players have to react instantly, no hesitation, no second guessing. And here's the risk. What counts as immediate, because Shelton clearly believed Helsley was late. Broadcast replays, they suggest Helsley signaled pretty quickly, but here's the problem: pretty quickly isn't the same as within the rulebook window. And that's where MLB has a potential issue on its hands. If timing becomes subjective, then you just replaced one controversial system with another. Now think about the competitive angle. Pitchers and catchers are going to start pushing this limit, trying to sneak in late challenges, testing how strict umpires really are. And managers, they're going to be watching like hawks, because in a one-run game, in the ninth inning, that single decision can flip everything. Which is exactly what happened here. Instead of Bell walking and extending the inning, it's strike 3, momentum dead. Game essentially over. That's not a small swing, that's massive, and Shelton knew it. That's why he exploded. You're already seeing two sides form. One group is saying, hey, the system worked. It got the call right. That's the whole point. And they're not wrong. If the pitch was a strike, then technically justice was served. But the other side, they're focused on process. They're asking, did he challenge in time? And if not, why was it allowed? Because if timing rules aren't enforced strictly, then the system loses credibility. And fans hate inconsistency more than anything, especially when it shows up in the ninth inning. Analysts are going to be all over this, because this isn't just a one-game issue. This is a league-wide precedent. MLB tightens the rules immediately, clarifies the timing, maybe even introduces a visible timer or clearer signal system. Everything becomes standardized, no more confusion, and ABS evolves into exactly what it was supposed to be, a clean, reliable tool. This keeps happening. More borderline challenges, more arguments about timing instead of accuracy, more ejections, and suddenly the focus shifts away from the game and onto the system itself. That's when you've got a real problem. Because fans don't want to watch technology debates in the ninth inning. They want baseball. So here's the real question. Did the system do its job, or did it just create a new kind of controversy? Was Shelton right to lose it, or is this just the growing pain of a smarter, more accurate game? Drop your take below. I want to hear where you stand on this. If you're into real, no-nonsense breakdowns like this, hit subscribe, because this ABS story, it's just getting started.